They said something about never again, and then don't be a sheep. Look how they turn all these psalms into bombs. Watermelon, my seeds in these songs. Don't be a sheep. Look how they
All
turn all
right,
these songs
y'all.
into
Welcome
bombs.
back to another
Watermelon,
episode
my
of Road
seeds in
to
these songs.
William. I got like my first guest on the show. Okay, the people before him, they were like family. We knew each other. We worked together. I got my cousin on the show. That's different. We got someone brand new, Father Venus, an artist, hip hop artist specific. You already know I love the music, so we're gonna go
Word.
over that. But I want to welcome Father Venus to the show.
Thank you very much, William. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it.
Tell me a little bit of like your background from how you started with music. Like, what got you
Yeah.
into music? What was the age?
Yeah. I mean, I think like most of us millennial age folks, we were born in hip hop. Like hip hop is just the language that we speak. So for me, it was just that for a long time. And like as a young kid, I think I would have these like I look back, I got some of my old journals and I got these like random two-line rhymes or whatever.
Mm,
And like it was never something that I fully was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely about to like be a artist, and I talk about this like part of it is one being raised as a girl. So it was like against my brother who showed also artistic talent. They like my family thought like, okay, you're smart, you go to school, you do well, and you will give you arts, you know what I mean? Like they didn't. And I think a lot of people kind of deal with that in certain ways as like you are pushed into being academically,
mm,
you know whatever. So that was also part of it, because if I had been encouraged, I probably would have found some more just discipline around it and like motivation around it. So that was part of it. So I really went like an academic route. Like I went to grad school, like I'm like all of that, and I enjoyed it. I like reading books, and I like learning and whatnot. When I got to grad school, the shit was so backwards and so wild there that I was like, oh, okay, like I really gotta figure out what it is that actually drives me, like, cause this isn't it. Like this, like all things, once you hit what's really difficult about it, it's like, are you about to push through it or not? Like
right.
everything is hard. Like there's no shortcuts. So
Yeah.
you gotta really figure out what you're willing to do. And I was like, I'm not willing to sacrifice for this. Like
Mm,
y'all are this not working out for me, like this is not my space, and in graduate school and doing a lot of like reading and research and shit, like I realized that I wanted to be a part of making the culture, not just commenting on it.
mhm.
You know what I mean? And not that that's all scholarship is, but it's a lot of it. It's like, let's talk about how this artist relates to this artist, and I'm gonna draw some theory out of it. I'm like, okay, y'all could do that about me. You know what I mean? Like, look
Right.
at what I'm doing and then draw
Right.
your theory out of it or whatever.
Because there'll actually
Um,
be some substance there.
yeah, yeah. It just wasn't it wasn't really my lane. And once I hit like the end of the road of the academic kind of stuff of like a PhD, that's as far as you could take it. I was like, oh, this isn't my dream. This was a dream that was given to me that was kind of forced onto me, the gender binary, all of those things. And once I broke out of that and was like, I'm trans, like everything fell into place after that. It was like not only that, but now also I know that what I'm willing to sacrifice for. I'm willing to go through the mud to be an artist. I'm not willing to go through the mud to be writing books. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of how it came through. Like it came through like a real purposeful, like my purpose. Like I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Um, and yeah, it's really how I connect. It's how I relate emotionally out to the world. I'm not always great at expressing myself. Sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not, but I think through the music it always comes through pretty pure, like of really what I'm thinking and feeling.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Oh, damn. No, I wouldn't be able to remember it word for word, but I do remember I was in like a summer program, like for academically gifted students, like going to school in the summer.
Hmm.
And they had like a day, a career day, and I was in like seventh grade or something like that. And one of the choices was to go to a studio. And that was like my number one. Like I was lobbying, like I was in the talking to the adults, like make sure you know what I mean? Like I put that as number one. Like I was putting
Oh,
in work. I was like, y'all gotta, I have to be a part of that. So I remember that. I remember that feeling, like, you know, and going there and I was like, yeah, we gotta do this as that and this is that. And like I wanted my hand in everything, like the beat, the lyrics, the performance, like all of it.
did your family come around to it?
Now, but I've had to have some conversations too about like, and really just like with my mom and my brothers, it's more like um I'm taking it seriously, and it would be nice if you guys supported it as that, and I think that it's people say like no one's gonna believe in your dream more than you, and I've really really got that lesson throughout the last few years when I was like, yeah, like, have you listened to my song yet? And it's like, no, not yet. And I'm like, what
Right.
the
But that's how it was funny because I always lived with my mom growing up, but
yeah.
some have with my mom, and so I had to live with my dad eventually.
Mm,
And just
mm,
seeing the difference between them, like she supports it now, but she
yeah,
like back then growing up, she was helping me get in the talent shows and stuff like that.
nice.
She was really like my number one, until she
Yeah.
got sick. Like she had cardiac arrest, and
Mm,
so um, she came back to life, but like her brain, like between the time I had to call 911 till they got
yeah,
there, she had lost oxygen to the brain.
yeah,
She couldn't function the same way, and she had to like
mhm,
over time get better, but
yeah,
like she's still not like as 100%.
mhm,
And
mhm,
but so she couldn't take care of me, so then family got to take care of
yeah,
that. But it got to a point where it was like, no, Kareem just got to be with his dad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so I appreciate it. It's like a messed up way I had to experience it, but he knew like with music something was there, like,
yeah,
and I don't think he would ever admit it. But I say that because you said like you said your family pushed academics, and like that's what he did for me. Like, and even after
yep.
high school, he was like, okay, you got to figure something out. Like maybe get into. He wanted me to become a cop because like
Oh no.
police aid.
Yeah,
That's how you get in. And I
yeah.
did, but I failed that physical. Bro, I sprinted and it was like, whoa, you fast. But then I
Yeah,
couldn't keep up the step. I
yeah.
collapsed on the floor. I never told nobody that
Damn.
story, but
Oh shit. You
my
gotta,
dad was
yeah.
like, I told you you were supposed to be in that gym. He had a little gym downstairs. I had to wait and everything. I told you to take it serious. I was like, but I passed the written though, and I feel like that's really the hardest, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he pushed that so much that it's like I get it, like it's routine, we have to do it, but
mhm.
now it's forced. Like I don't want to be like dragging going to work somewhere just because I have to pay the bills. Like
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
to enjoy. I want to at least enjoy doing what I love and like. But you
yeah,
know why? And it reminds me of
yeah.
Sister Act as well. But like
Mm,
our parents don't. They could believe you could really actually be that next thing or whatever. Like
yeah,
be part of this big thing in the world, blah, blah, that could change the world. But they're not. They've never really seen that, and they've never
nah.
seen it successful. Like our people
Mhm,
probably did see Martin and all them, but you see how left that can go, and why would they want to
mhm.
push us into something that even Tupac, like
Yeah, it's true.
it's
Yeah,
like he could have just kept quiet, just keep doing them little rap, and just
yeah.
sit back, be quiet, do that rap, go home. But he wasn't. His bloodline wasn't built that way, and so
Right, right.
he just was in hip hop, and you know what I mean. So that's a whole
Mhm.
other thing. But I'm getting to it where, especially with Sister Act, remember Lauren Hill and Cheryl Lee,
Yeah,
like the mom like believed that she can sing, but she didn't want her to go down that route. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think our
Right.
parents are the same way and was raised that similar way. Like
Definitely.
they don't want that's the blues and it relates to all,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing good in it and all that.
Yeah.
You put religion in it and it's gonna
Yeah.
really tell you why you shouldn't do it. And so, but I
Yeah.
think when you said that though, yeah, that really
I agree with that 100%. I think it's hard for people to know what you don't know, you know? Like you don't know what's possible unless you see it. And that's why representation to an extent is important, right? Like if you see people living in a way and a life that you are like, oh shit, like that feels truer to me, that feels authentic, like it helps you to move there to that space. But I think the thing about age is that we keep thinking that somehow there's an age where you have it all figured out and that there's no more learning and that all you can do is force and impart on the younger generation as opposed to being like you actually could learn a lot about like opening up your imagination and like like you can
right.
be 50 or 60 and begin a new career,
Uh,
but that's
not.
a whole
You're
other
supposed to be
thing,
at that company till you gone.
Exactly,
Tired
exactly.
of
And they don't want that. They don't
them.
want you to know that part. So,
Gotta
it's
suffer
yeah.
from that. People be like, I've been at a job for 35 years. Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
you probably went through it too.
yeah, yeah. But I'm
So
also
it's
like,
not worth your mental health at first.
are you good? Like, are you happy with that? Like, is that, is that the end all be all? Or was that something
Yeah.
that was given to you?
Right.
Like, did you this story that if you maintain your head down, you pay your taxes, everything is great, you got your 401k. I'm like, yo,
We're not gonna have our
we're not even gonna have 401. Like
right.
the whole
Like, what
system
am
is
I
gonna
paying
fall
for?
apart. Yeah. What am I saving up for to retire when I'm 65? Are y'all out your minds?
My grandfather, before he passed at 72. He was working till he was 72.
You see, that's why I'm like, I'm pissed about things like that. That makes me upset.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowhere in the world should we be the most intelligent quote unquote species, whatever, like, and everybody is working until death.
Right.
Or some people are working until death, while other people are like living to 120. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Decrepit and just making money over and over again. So that's what's going on. I'm like, why are these billionaires lasting so long? And that's why, like,
Decrepit.
yeah. Mm.
Oh man.
So yeah, wild shit.
Let's talk about the song.
Yes.
Watermelon songs.
Yeah.
Now, before we go into that, just off
Yeah.
songs. So, were you
Yeah.
raised in the church?
I was not. I
Okay.
was not. Now,
Mhm.
interestingly, as a child, I one of the two things that I can remember consistently as like a missing feeling was I born in the wrong body? And what is my religion supposed to be? Because I wasn't raised to have a religion. Like we were not a religious family,
Mhm.
but I could my my spirit and body was looking for a home, so I used to do a lot of research. Like I used to be like, okay, let me check this one out and let me
Right.
check this one out, like, and like I used to love, like I took a lot of classes and like, you know what I mean? I used to be like, okay, maybe Buddhism, maybe Hinduism, and I used to like take little pieces of everything, like, and so for me, I'm really invested in the idea of spirituality, and I like the idea that I can piece together the things that make sense to me from all of these different
Mhm.
spaces.
Mhm.
So I reference it a lot because it just is like, um it's like second nature now, like, because I'm invested in the idea of them to a certain extent. But my version of it, you know? So like the words and things, like I know these like random stories of from the Bible and stuff, and I'm like, I've never read the Bible, but I know certain things about it.
Hmm.
And it definitely finds its way. Like even like Father Venus, at first was an idea like, you know, this sort of um paternal kind of figure. Like a lot of my friends would say you kind of remind like I remind them of like a grandfather. Like I'm both in like, you know, coming to the club, like, you know what I mean? Falling asleep and shit. I'm like
Right,
watching the coats. I'm like, I'm too old for this shit.
right.
Um, so that in that way, but then also like I think a lot of my rap style doesn't always come through as like verse, chorus, chorus, verse. Like it
Right.
comes through like verse, you know, and for me that feels like I'm preaching. Like it's I like to say it's like a lecture rap, like lecture to lullaby rap. And so like it takes on this kind of pastor father, you know, kind
Mm.
of vibe.
Why did you name it Watermelon Songs?
So man, it's watermelon psalms for the idea of like it being a verse and it being something that you can take with you as like a politic, like as a way of living. You know, like you hold on to these stories and to these verses to remind you in moments of like how you want to live. So that's kind of where Psalms comes from, but watermelon is the connection between I see between and a lot of folks have seen now between Black folks and Palestinian people, and I didn't realize that the watermelon represented the Palestinian flag at some point because it was outlawed, so they weren't allowed to raise their flag under the occupation of Israel. And so they used, you know, the watermelon to represent it because it had the same colors. And I was like, that's really dope because as a person who comes from this like Black history background, I know that watermelons, you know, what that means to us. Like, you know, I didn't know that watermelons were a way that Black folks were finding success as like entrepreneurs in the South, and
Mhm.
that it was you then kind of turned into this like stereotype, right, to kind of degrade us through the minstrel shows because we were making money through this avenue, you know. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, you know, the way that things really get twisted in history and how like it just like totally disembodies us, like it keeps us from being able to be like we were like not only are we successful in their terms, right, and like Western supremacy, all of that, those terms, but like it shows like a endless drive for life, like against all odds, like the greatest harm against people ever done, enslavement. Against all odds, I get out and I'm still making a means. I'm growing. I'm connected to the earth. Like, and so I just saw that connection. I'm like, man, like our money, our tax dollars are being used for this genocide. Like point blank period. Every time you go to the store and you pay for something, a part of that tax goes to a bomb. And I'm like, there's no way in the world that I can sit and remain idle while that's happening. Like no way in the world. So it's the song kind of comes together from that. Like I
Mhm.
got fired also. I got fired for talking about this. And it's one of my
For
yeah,
that?
I got fired. Yeah, because the CEO sent out some email saying we stand with Israel, and I'm like, and that they are against anti-Semitism. And I was like, this is not about that. You know what I mean? Like, and you as the leader of this organization, this highly, you know, whatever organization, but I'm like, I shouldn't expect anything more, you know, and I think that's the other thing that this moment is kind of, you know, cementing. Like there are certain things that we have to stop putting our energy into because you've already shown us who you are, type of thing. You know what I mean? Um, so for me, I shouldn't have been shocked, but it definitely triggered me, and I was like, "Fuck this!" Like I'm on my Slack, like free Palestine, like let's labor, you know, let's unionize, like let's try to figure out ways to come together. They're making record profits. We are sitting here 12 hours a day on computers, double screened up while these people making money. I'm like, this is whack. Like You know what I mean? So yeah, I got fired for that. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And yeah, it's one of my greatest like uh moments. I'm like, I wouldn't take anything back. Like maybe I'd be a little bit more organized about it. Like maybe I could have organized some more people to make a bigger hit. Um, but other than that, like, jobs jobs are jobs. I'm like, this is not my life, and I refuse to keep business as usual. So I had some stake in it. It's I'm connected to it one way or another. Like I became a full-time artist because I spoke out about Palestine. Like it's forever connected.
How are you mentally?
I was telling
Probably pissed off.
yeah, I was really mad. I was really mad. I was really mad. I was already really over that job, but yeah, I mean, I think mentally I just am trying to understand what it truly means to be a full-time artist and to try to like remain in my values as someone who is, anti-capitalist. Like I'm not trying to make $1 billion. I don't think billionaires should exist. Like that's my opinion. That's my hardcore belief. I'll go to the ground with that one because it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. You don't need that much. So it's excess. Um, so like how can I be an artist in a world that does think that that is what's cool? And I think things are changing, but so mentally I'm trying to understand what that worth.
So are you team independent artist or team label? Are you
Definitely independent. Oh my God. Labels are just another like microcosm of these same systems. Like it's just a little miniature version of the same shit that we go through and all the same things. So they want to put you on a contract. I mean, the contracts have language from slavery. I'm like, bro, like literal language. They like I can't remember what it is right now, but there's something that's like this is literally from enslavement. I'm like, whew, no, so no way, no way. I can't have people tell me what to do anyway. I'm like,
right?
I'd be in conflict
Be
all
here,
the
be
time.
there, perform this, perform that. Don't say this in the interview.
Don't say
Don't say
this.
this.
What?
You like, damn, I just got
No
here.
way. No way. I'll be honest, I don't even really want nothing to do with the industry. I'm like, all y'all weird and off as well. Like that's not my
And
goal.
all
Like
this,
this
like, come on, I gotta say it. All this Diddy stuff.
say it. Whoo! Listen,
I've been trying to keep quiet,
listen.
but
You're gonna have to speak. We're gonna have to speak on it at some point. We have to actually. It's our duty because and I'll tell you this,
I
I need
don't feel
to
like
I
I'm
need
out chasing. Like, bro, I'm just trying to make it. Trying
nah.
to make it.
This is it's not about that though. It's about like there are there is a new era. Simple as that. Where y'all who got away with creating a environment
Speak on
that
it.
was absolutely unsafe for anyone to exist in, including your own selves. This is why it is self-destructing because it wasn't safe for you either. But you upheld it, you maintained it, you facilitated it, and now you know what I mean? So we got to speak on it because I'm like, y'all need to go get help. You know what I mean? I'm not saying go to jail, but you need to go to help, get help. They need help. They need serious help. You need help.
I want to
That's
speak on that Whitney Houston thing because people talking something crazy on Whitney.
I haven't heard.
Listen. I'll be into a little bit of conspiracy, like I said in my last video.
Yeah.
I used to be way too in it in college, where it's like,
Okay.
okay, I can't live my life because you ain't gonna be able to follow to the T. You're not gonna be able to live your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I just dibble and dabble in it.
Okay.
Say too much on it, but I be on Reddit. First off, shout out to
Uh-huh. Yeah, Reddit is where it's at. Yeah.
because people be telling the truth on Reddit. I be like,
Yeah. Yes.
they should be professors. Because
Yeah, it's true.
even I'll be
Reddit
on Jersey
University.
Shore Reddit. I'll be like, yeah. That's exactly what's happening with Ron. Yes, that. I hope
It's
they
true.
do.
It's also where you could go to find everybody's sign. If you're looking for anybody's sign who's been on TV, like their astrological sign, you go to Reddit.
Whoa,
Like if you like, oh, like
crazy, but
yeah,
I like it. But
it's serious.
but yeah,
You're right. It's researchers there.
Look at Whitney Houston and Clive Davis,
Okay.
and
Ooh,
and
damn, it's
the
gonna piss
and the
me off.
letter she gave Brandy. Now that's all I'm gonna say. And what's going on with Jaguar Wright? You know who Jaguar Wright is? You've been hearing about
I
her?
don't. The name is sounding familiar, but I don't know.
Look into her too. She's
Okay.
been singing like a bird for years. But you know, everything coming full circle.
Oh,
And so everybody like,
oh,
I need
yes,
to pay attention to her.
yes, yes, yes.
Right now,
It's
I don't know
yes.
who you're in the
That
Empire.
I did watch Empire for a couple of seasons, and
First
then
off,
it
real quick.
just
Since we being honest, bro,
yeah.
Jesse going, bro. Jesse going, dog. Because I was rooting for him, bro. Videos when I first started like a year ago, I had made a video
Yeah,
like all the I made it with like Monique, Brittany Griner, and Jesse Smollett, and I had my
yeah,
own take
yeah,
on it, like the unpopular
yeah,
opinion head ass.
yeah,
Right? That was me. I was doing that video, and I was rooting for him. Okay, I'm like,
yeah,
look, Taraji was backing him. I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like she ain't just gonna back somebody publicly. Like that's a big
Right,
deal to do.
right.
Okay. So when she was backing him, I'm like, okay, but them dudes really did hit him. So they should That's my whole point though. Like, okay, if everybody gotta be in trouble, everybody gotta be in trouble. Don't just put him on
Everybody has to
because
be in
that's the
trouble.
game. He was
Yeah,
struggling. He wanted to
yeah.
make the money, but I'm like, well, how much money was y'all making? Now Terrence Howard talking about he wasn't getting paid like that. I'm like, I thought he
Wow.
was one of the most paid.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's who wants to be a part of that? I don't want to be a part of it.
It's stressful.
That's I'm
You
like
gonna get some of my
y'all are
business?
stressed.
I'm like, yeah. And they're gonna put
No,
it
I'm
out.
like y'all got money and still stressed. How's that happening?
And
It don't work.
trans people are just they not we have like what T.S. Madison on the scene, right? We might have to add another I got that non-premium Zoom, so we might have to do a second roll. It's okay. We got 10 minutes.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
I ain't paid for that.
Same, same, same.
So they say I got about 9 minutes. So that's
Okay, we'll come back up.
come back. We're gonna come back. But real quick, I just wanted to say on like
Yeah,
trans artists, like, but T.S. Madison, she doesn't do music. She just has like a show. So, but she
right.
was recently on like Beyonce's album. Something's going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
we don't really
she was
have trans
sampled.
people like in music that are open, like you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm. Nah.
representing it, like, and that's still kind of iffy, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
Mhm.
depends on how you look on it. You know, it's like it's that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think in the mainstream, no. Like, is there anybody? No. And if there is one, I'm not sure who they are, but they don't represent me necessarily because I think I would know. So no. But then um there are though, like, a few people who are out there who are independent, who are doing things and who I'm like, oh shoot, like there are way more trans artists than I even knew because I wasn't looking for them, you know what I mean? And like now that I am myself an artist and am far more invested in it, I'm like, you know what? Like everybody kind of coming into their own thing, and I'm starting to see like, there might be people with just EPs or like, like just on the independent level right now that are speaking on things.
What are the
But
benefits? What are the benefits to being an independent artist today? Going into
I think
2024, give us some.
yeah, simply just not being told what to do. Like, I couldn't imagine being in a position right now where I couldn't like put this song out, for example. Like I'm like, yo, this is like one of my greatest songs ever. Like I feel that about everything, but I'm also like, this is gonna be I think a lot of my stuff always is fine wine. Like it's everything grows and grows and grows. Like when people try to be like, oh, you gotta 1 week you need to put out the promotion and roll it out, and then I'm like, yo, this is
You gotta make a
this is
book.
long.
You gotta talk shit about people.
Yeah,
gotta
This
start
is
a beef.
longevity.
Like, ooh.
You gotta start a beef, yeah. I'm like, no, this is longevity. Like, I'm gonna be promoting Watermelon Psalms for the rest of my life. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, there's no end in sight to that song making sense unless we have a free Palestine and it ain't no black billionaires, because that's what the song is about. So I'm like, until that happens, then the song is relevant. You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest benefit there is not being told what to do and not being cookie cutter, like put into a mold, not being able to evolve, like restrictions. I'm just like, oh, who wants any of that? Like, oh, weird stuff. Like,
You can put
I don't
out
know what
music
going
when you
on.
want.
You say what?
You can put out music when you want. You ain't gotta wait.
Yeah, I'm like, you can interact with people. You remain human.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I don't know what's going on, but you remain humane, and I'm like, above all else, that's what I want. So, um, that's that on that. How much more? We got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we got 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I
So
really
that's
enjoyed
pretty
the
much it.
song. I've been bopping to
Me
it
too.
all day. So I'm gonna
Thank you.
add the video to it.
Perfect. That's perfect.
The
'Cause,
MP3 to the song.
mhm.
I'm gonna try and add the video. I don't know if I gotta download it or something. But
Dude, I could send it to you.
see what I'm saying? That's how
I
I'm.
could send it. I could send you the thing. But yeah, yeah, it's. I'm like, this is people got to start making music that make you think, that make you move, like to action, not just your ass. You know, that's good too. But
Right.
you know, boycott some shit if you can, please. You know,
Mhm.
it's worth it
What's some advice you give to say
to who
artists?
artists. Um, I say, yeah, just evolve. Like, figure out what the things are that help you to do that. Don't be afraid. One of the things that I have to do myself is collaborate. So connect, reaching out and just being like, yo, let's just, that um and in-person shit. I think that's getting I'm like gonna do an open mic this weekend, I'm like that's how you create community, like people it's because I'm like, I'm putting on my shit now, I'm getting 10 likes, and then if I absorb that,
Mhm.
I'm thinking my shit's not good, but it's the algorithm, it's whatever, it could be a whole host of things. But in person, you know what I'm saying? Like you always gonna pick up a couple more people who are like, I fuck with your message, your personality, whatever it is.
Mhm.
So definitely in person things as well. I'm like, we gotta connect in real life.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely come out to you do an open mic.
Yo, please.
Long
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do like cause I'm in Detroit and we in the middle of the country, so we, easy access for everybody. Really, lots of land here, lots of things that like possibility is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully can create a space where we can actually host things like concerts and small venue type of thing,
Oh yeah.
real laid back, kick back type thing, but that really gives us a space because I'm like,
Hell
you
yeah.
know, why not? Like, why not?
There's not
You
that
know,
many.
it ain't none. That's what I'm like. You know what I mean? Like in some ways on the La Russell vibe, like a
Right.
trans La Russell. You know what I mean?
I see it. Yep.
Like you gotta come see us and we're gonna make it shake because we can host you. It's a whole different thing when you can be
Oh,
in my home.
I'm from Milwaukee, so that drive ain't nothing.
Oh word. I got a good friend from Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee, that's about a few hours.
Yeah,
Uncles was from there. So, yeah.
yeah. Weather's the same.
You said what? The winter.
I said the weather. Come through. Come see us.
Oh yeah. Um, but anything else that you would like to say before we close out?
That's it. I appreciate the space. I love your content. I literally, when I first started following you, I'm like, I die at everything. The Queen Latifah one.
What you talking about the Queen when she was dancing?
Yeah.
I'm like, What are you doing? Queen. What? Now, I ain't never seen you do that before. Now, what's going on? She getting loose. Hey!
Yo, you have to keep going. It's so good, so genuinely
Really?
funny.
Uh,
When I say genuinely funny, I don't laugh at a lot of things or a lot of people. You know what I mean?
you
That
be
make
chuckling
me,
and shit.
you know what I'm saying? I'm serious, you know what I'm saying? But you really like, it's my exact type of humor. I don't know. It's just so on point and so good. It's like the facial expressions, everything. Like, so good. You gotta just keep going because like as soon as it's gonna like
Man, I'm taking y'all with me. We going.
hey, listen,
I'm gonna give hella donations to little trans babies. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, listen, I
I
had
be
to
like, here,
connect.
whole fund for y'all. You need housing,
Exactly.
one, because that's number one. Is
Hey, number one,
make sure they got food in
safe
them.
space.
Make sure the
Safe
people working
spaces.
in there aren't transphobic either.
100%. It's so much that needs to be done for us, and I'm like, yeah, I feel you 100%. That's why I'm like, us connecting.
Your
It's just
music,
like we figure it out, you know.
I was
Like,
listening to your other music and stuff.
yeah.
I'm like,
Thank you.
I hear, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you.
sometimes people just be rapping. I'm like, no, this nigga like, if you like deeply rooted in the hip hop and you know how different flows and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely like the different and it hits. You know what I'm saying? You ain't
I
doing too much.
appreciate that.
You're not trying to make it hit. You're like,
Yeah,
it's a natural flow. So
I
go check
appreciate
out his
that.
music, Father Venus.
Yes.
It's on all streaming platforms,
All streaming
Apple
platforms,
Music,
YouTube.
Spotify. Get that Spotify wrapped up there. We want
Let's
to see what's
do
going
it.
on with
Yeah, Father Venus Music at Father Venus Music at everything. My website, fathervenus.com. Check out SaturnSays.com. That's the production house we working under. So yeah,
All
I
right.
appreciate the time.
Thank you. Peace out.
Thank you.
Probably gonna close out, but yeah, that's the end.
Yo, thank you. This was so funny and fun. Thank you. Let's do it again. I love it. It's like
Yeah, bring
natural.
some more
Yeah.
people. I don't care. Have a big old little Zoom.
Yeah.
Look like TikTok. You know, everybody on live TikTok live like 10.
They said something about never again, and then don't be a sheep. They said something about never again, and then don't be a sheep. They said something about never again, and then don't be a sheep. They said something about never again, and then don't be a sheep. Look how they turn all these psalms into bombs. Watermelon, my seeds in these songs. Don't be a sheep. Look how they turn all these songs into bombs. Watermelon, my seeds in these songs. Don't be a sheep. Look how they turn all these psalms into bombs. Watermelon, my seeds in these songs. Breaking spells by the end of these bars. All I see is the blood on my palms. Can't believe I was sleeping this long. Here's a pill for this rapper, get on. The demons gon' snooze the alarms. Here's a check, move this rapper along. Drown him in Henny Patron. That's when they gon' get you alone. Them diamonds, the bloodiest stones. All you black capitalists embarrassing. Celebrities, actors, and characters. Almighty kings, y'all some savages. When money ain't a thing, it's not the average.